For the sake of this analogy, in which I am using the Tardis spaceship to illustrate New Jerusalem, I am not conceiving of the outside of the Tardis as a dimensional interface to the immediate interior of the much larger spaceship that exists within it in its own dimensional pocket. Instead, I picture the outside as a transdimensional portal to the much larger ship that exists somewhere else in the same dimension and/or in a higher dimension. Opening the doors creates a portal that immediately accesses the remote interior of the ship. New Jerusalem may operate similarly. Entering the 3D city, which you see on the left, may give you simultaneous access to the 4D city and movement within it. The 4D city might be accessed through multiple copies of the 3D city. For example, picture multiple people entering 3D copies of New Jerusalem and going to attend a dinner party in the same location in the 4D New Jerusalem. There's New Jerusalem at the lower left, 3D copies, people moving within. The 3Ds also gives them access and movement within the 4D city in the upper right. The 3Ds are homes of the second-tier human gods and goddesses, while New Jerusalem is the home of the bridal first-tier human gods and goddesses. Let's take a trip from 3D New Jerusalem through a wormhole to the 4D city. Along the way, we will observe 3D cities on the outside of the wormhole that are the capitals of other galaxies. There's New Jerusalem. We're leaving it to take a trip through the wormhole in our trip to the 4D city. As humanity grows and spreads infinitely throughout the galaxies, the gods and goddesses in New Jerusalem will need infinite access to those 3D galaxies over which they administer, posing an infinite increase in the number of 3D copies of New Jerusalem that are accessible from New Jerusalem via wormholes to and from those 3D copied cities and administered by second-tier gods and goddesses offers a plausible model that is consistent with biblical affirmations that God instructs His servants to make 3D copies of the heavenly city. The 4D city can act as the hub of this wormhole travel within this multiverse wide web.